Well, hello there, friends and family. As you can see, I'm getting ready to feed the kitty crew. Every day starts the same. Of course, I make sure Trix has food. She's asleep right now. Now it's time to feed the kitty crew. So we got to get them fed on up. I'm sure they'll be around here in a second or two. Yeah, we'll give them a little water here. Now I'm gonna have to clean up their water bowl. It's looking a little nasty, so I'm gonna be setting y'all down for a second. Pour a little water in there. Scrub out their bowls. I'm gonna have to get them a new water bowl here. And this one here is starting to say better days. Yeah, well, there we go. We'll just toss that down there. You won't believe it, but the worms, they'll eat up that paper towel in no time. Give them some nice, fresh, filtered water. Yep, probably the only cats in the neighborhood that get filtered water. But there we go. So the kitty crew's all fixed up. Whenever they show up. Oh, we got a package from the mail. Well, we're just gonna scoot it on over for now with our foot. We're gonna set it right there in that bright sunshine. Cause I've been doing some research. Plus a couple of y'all viewers brought it up. UV light, which of course is sunlight, kills all the viruses. So we'll leave her there a bit while we continue on with our day. Now I won't lie to y'all, I'm a little late getting on out here. I had every intention of getting out here really early. But as you saw, yesterday's video didn't upload till a little bit after midnight. YouTube just wasn't cooperating. So, we're late getting out. It's like 11. And I wanted to be out here right at about no later than 8 o'clock. But such is life. You only can do what you can do. Even I gotta sleep sometimes. But I did notice many of y'all were up late at night too, and then reading the comments when I got up today, I saw that y'all were staying up a little bit later, and right up there with me. Now, as you can see, old truck planter's still a little bit moist, but it'll be dried out soon enough. But don't need watering right now, so we'll leave it be. But I'll grab the old water can while I'm down there, put it up by the hose pipe, and we'll get this day started. I'll be right back. I just got to get a few things. Birds sure are happy today. I got to get all this junk picked up. We'll do that later in the afternoon, because I want to get some stuff in the ground. Well, y'all, as you can see, we're over here on that little garden space I cleared off. And we're going to be planting some potatoes today. And I've been digging that trench, or starting to dig it, as you can tell here. And like always is the case when you got so many trees, you're gonna have roots. So I'm gonna have to be cutting those roots out right there and dig this down deeper. But just look how dark that dirt is. Whew. It's gonna be some good growing medium. These tree roots ain't gonna hurt nothing. In fact, something you might not know is the trees and all this decaying organic matter. You can see a lot of it's broke completely down. Some still isn't. Like over here towards this end, you can see where I dug out some quite not fully decomposed pine needles. It'll take a little longer. That's from last year. But there's a thing called mycorrhizal fungi. And that particular fungi has a symbiosis with certain tree species, sure enough. And this is why people promote no-dig gardening and market farming and all that so much, because the mycorrhizal fungi puts out this web of network of basically hair-like looking roots. Some people mistake them for roots of plants, but it's not. And I'll show you some here in a second. Let me find some. Oh, here's some right here. See them right there? They almost look like plant roots, don't they? Now, why is that so important? Well, mycorrhizal fungi is one of the largest living organisms on the face of the planet. And what it does is if you can get it growing in your soil, which you can see it's clearly growing in mine, and that it helps break down all the organic matter in the soil and converts it to nutrients that of course the trees can use. That's why it has a symbiosis relationship with trees. I mean, it basically providing the nutrients for the trees and that to help them grow, but also help your plants grow in your gardens. Now, you don't have to have trees, because when you put in there wood chips, leaves, stuff like I do, see, there's some more right there. It's all through in here, trust me that. And you try not to disturb it. But with potatoes, you don't got no choice. You got to dig some ground with potatoes. And I've got to get this trench finished here. And that. Now I'm going to have to get some hand pruners and cut these roots out. That's just part of it, part of having trees, part of gardening with the trees. It won't hurt the trees, trust me that. Those are from the pine trees. And you look way out here, and then you look how far pine trees are. Pine trees are probably 30 feet away. So their roots can go quite some ways. And if we went to the other end of this old garden plot, which is at the end of this here timber pile, you'd find there are roots from that mass of oak spreading out up into this western end of this garden plot. And when I used to till all the time, and I do have two tillers by the way, I got a front tine tiller that I've had for 25 years. I've got a self-propelled rear tine, counter rotating, that I've had now. This will be its second year. But I've decided this year, for no more than what I'm doing, I'll try to do as much by hand. And if you can tell, I'm breathing a little bit heavy. One, that the dirt was also that hard to dig. It was breaking all the roots to lift the soil and get it to where I could rake it out. Now I'm just using a standard garden rake right here. I could use a hoe, and I'm just using a now let me set it down here so you can see it in case you're interested. A short D-handled planting spade, and you'd use this for like planting trees, bushes, stuff of that nature, but it works real good for digging trenches too. Me and my daddy used to use it for digging trenches for water lines and in-ground power cables back in the day when there wasn't no ditch switch to be had. So that's what we got going on right now. Now, like I said, I'm a little bit out of breath. Probably a little bit more by the time I get this finished up. So if you pardon me, I'm not going to video this whole process. It's digging up dirt, making a trench, raking out the loose dirt, cutting out the roots. And I'm not going to do like some do and sit here and do that for an hour, hour and a half, and then set the video up 4 times speed where I'm just zipping through it looking like some fool. I think you get the idea. And we'll bring you back when we got it finished, okay? So y'all just sit back and grab you a cold drink. There's some snacks in the house. Pull you up one of those lawn chairs, sit in the shade. We can chit chat while I'm doing it. Well, y'all, I'm back. I don't know how I look. Finally caught my breath, took a little short break, got me some cold water out of the hose pipe there. If you're my age, or close to it, or older, you'll remember the days drinking out of the old hose pipe. I grew up that way. Been that way all my life. Ain't no sense all dirty in that, dragging dirt on in the house. I don't like to clean anyway. But I got that trench in. And the dirt was extremely easy to dig. But of course, had to cut those roots out of there. And don't be worried, ain't gonna hurt trees none. I used to till this whole plot up every year. And then I pick up the new roots, rake them out, sift them out, it'd be fine. And the more I work the ground, the trees sort of get the idea. Don't grow the roots back in it, but this area hasn't been gardened since 2012. So that's been 7 years of doing nothing with it but piling up those leaves and grass clippings. Now if you want something, I'm going to show you, because I said I was going to dig this trench 12 to 16 inches deep. I didn't get that far. Let me show you why. Let me show you what I got here. It ain't a lot. It ain't amazing. You know, it ain't like the Panama Canal, but I'll bring you over here and show you what I mean. So here it is. We got it all dug here. We'll get where we can show you better. Watch the worm box, we gotta check it. Here it is. Of course, it's got a bow in it. And there was a time in my life when my OCD would not allow that. You know, I'd lay a line. You know, I'd try to make a real nice trench or row or whatever. It doesn't bother me so much now in my old age. But I'll show you why I stopped. I only got down about 10 inches. Let me bring you down here and hopefully y'all can see it. And that. And I've talked about the Alabama red clay. So we're gonna get on down here. Maybe you can see that. You should be able to. That orange soil right there. Hopefully that's showing up. I won't know till later when I look at the video. But I got down there at 10 inches. That's how the dirt was when I started. It's what we call Alabama red clay, and there's areas where it's far redder than that. Now there's a lot of minerals tied up in that soil. And they're slowly decaying. It's not that it's a bad thing. But, and this is what I want to bring up, look at these sidewalls, how black they are. Here again, I hope that's showing up some. Right there. Goes down 10 inches. Now that's from every year me piling up the grass clippings and the leaves in the spring every year. And if you want to see that, you can look back at some of my walkabouts last year, especially the later ones in the year, and see me doing that. And you can also go look at a video called Pastimes at Deep South Bama. I think I did that in 2018. I'll leave a link below in the description, and you'll be able to see several slides. It's a slide show video, and it shows this area in particular. It may show the garden plot down by the shop too, where you can see just, oh God, 4 or 5 feet high stacked up in leaves in the fall of the year. And over 24, this will be the 25th year, 2020, of doing that is what's given me this here deep, rich, black soil, or topsoil as it is referred to. But to get 8 to 10 inches of that, I've been working on it for now going on 25th year. Last year was 24th year. This year will be the 25th, and you can see right here we're still keeping on with the process, and we'll continue that. But I had to cut a bunch of roots out, and I just tossed them down here at the bottom because we'll be stacking up leaves and grass clippings all along here beside this where we're putting in the potatoes. So I just tossed them up here. Now some of those roots are rather large, you know, and the old man doesn't have the hand strength that he used to. And the old hand pruners I got there with the yellow handles on them weren't quite enough, so I had to go get my big red-handled lopers, they call them, and cut those bigger roots out. Made it a whole lot easier. And then to clean that trench out a little bit more, I use this, what I call a pick cultivator. One side got like a pick blade on it. The other side has got a 3-tine digger cultivators. And I've had this thing forever. Whew, at least over 20 years. And of course, I'll show you right there. It says a hoe and a cultivator. Bought it at Walmart. And it's made by Garden Pals Incorporated. It's $7.94 with an American ash handle in it, made in the USA. I'm not sure if that company's even around anymore. But I got her done. And it took me a while. I just ain't near as fast as I was in my teens or my 30s or even my 50s. Plus I'm a little bit out of shape, folks. I didn't do a whole lot of strenuous work over the winter. So we got to get built back up. But I'm never going to be what I was in my 20s or 30s. Not going to lie to you. So it's only 12-foot row. That'll be enough. Lord, I can remember when I was young, me and Daddy, and then later on my little brother, we could dig these potato trenches 50 foot long all day long. Of course, now we did have some help. We'd put what's called a furrow plow on the back of our rototillers, and they'd throw the dirt to both sides, and we'd rake it back as Daddy ran that rototiller. And he'd make one pass, turn around. Of course, he expected all that dirt to be raked away. Then he'd set it in again, dig it in, run it again. And of course, then one of us had to be down the trench shoveling that loose dirt out, while one of us raked it out of the way. That made it a lot easier. And then later on, we got us a tractor. Boy, that was the ticket. Of course, back then we were putting in at least an acre to an acre and a half, 2 acre garden. And then when I was up market farming, that's what they call it now, market gardening and market farming. Back in my day, it was called truck farming. And I had a very first farm I ever bought, 9.75 acres, southern Tennessee. Woo, that thing was beautiful, up on the ridge top. Well, the ground wasn't the best, sort of rocky. But first year or two, I planted with a big old, biggest rototiller Troy built sold. It was the horse model. And I had me one of those furrow or attachments made for it. And on the third year, I got me an old Farmall H tractor. Didn't even have a 3-point hitch on it. Had a drawbar. I think that thing was made in the 40s. I don't remember anymore. It was still a darn fine tractor, and I used it. And I used that for several years till I got me a brand new John Deere. Ooh, I was proud then. And I just used a garden rake to rake the dirt away. So now the only thing to do is set some potatoes in there. So I'm going to try to do it one-handed and hold the camera. I can't promise you that camera angle or anything's going to be all that good. We'll just give it a go, and y'all have to forgive old Mr. Tom. I'm not the best videographer in the first place. So let me get some taters, and we'll get this started. Now I've got some seed potatoes here. Now normally I'd cut these up into pieces, but if you look at this one right here, it's only got sprouts coming from the one end. So I'm just going to stick these in whole this year. They'll do fine. But the whole purpose of doing the trench, folks, is the way potatoes grow. We're just going to set that on down in there, just like that, with the sprouts facing up. Is as the potatoes grow up through to the trench, you just keep covering them up with a little bit of dirt. Just leave those parts right here that are sprouting. Of course, they'll turn green once they break the soil. And as they continue to grow up in the trench, you just keep covering them up where they're just barely showing through the soil. Because what potatoes do is, as these grow up, roots will form along the stem. Since potatoes are part of the nightshade family, just like tomatoes are, and we all know tomatoes will root all the way up the stem. Well, so will potatoes. And if you're trying to maximize yield, keeping them covered as they grow up through the trench means more potatoes. Just that simple. Now some people just plant them deep enough in the soil. They'll use something like a bulb planter, you know, something like you use to plant bulbs, especially no dig. Others, with tractors and rototillers, they'll make a trench just deep enough to set them in, cover them up, and then as they the potato vines grow up, a potato plant, they'll hill the dirt, and that's H-I-L-L, not H-I-L-L, S-E-A-L. They'll hill the dirt up around the potato plants. And I'll be doing that too. But I have a special way of doing that. This way right here is where I can maximize it from the very get-go, from putting them in the ground. And I'm just going to have more potatoes. It's similar to using like a 5-gallon bucket or one of them grow bags. Put the potatoes in the bottom, throw enough soil in to cover them, and then as the potatoes sprout, come through the ground, you just keep adding more soil or compost or straw or what have you. So it ain't hard. You're just going to take it and you're just going to rake some dirt in there just like that. Just enough to cover the potato up. See? Now the potato's covered up. Right there. Just that simple. Then you're going to step off about 1 foot is what I do. Some do 6 inches. I do a foot. That way the potatoes got plenty of room to grow. I got to find another potato here, so y'all bear with me. So I got another one here. Now this one ain't got no visible sprouts. But you see right there in the top, you can see the eyes. On the other end, you'll see where it was pulled off of the root. We're just gonna come, and this ain't gotta be precise. And we're gonna set her down again. See, with those eyes poking up. And then, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some more dirt over it. Just that simple. I try to be sort of careful so I don't knock my tater over. And there we go. So we got them all in there. And we're just going to repeat that process right there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to hold the camera while I do this whole row. I think you got the idea. Now, like I say, is this the only way to plant potatoes? No. You can just get them in the ground deep enough just to cover them up. And then you can hill dirt up around them if that's what you want to do. But this is what I've done. This is what my daddy did, my granddaddy, my great-granddaddy. Of course, my granddaddy and my great-granddaddy, they used tractors and plows, and before that they used mules. And I ain't got none of that now. And I don't need it for just this little plant. Next year, based on how things go, if I want to put in a whole big potato patch, I will definitely have me a furrow plow that I can hitch on the back of that big rear tine self-propelled cultivator. That'll just make it easier on the old man. But anyway, I think y'all get the idea. And if you want to do them in 5-gallon buckets, tires, grow bags, it's the same process. You always want to make sure your eyes facing up. Put them down the bottom of the bucket, grow bag, or cut a 55-gallon drum in half, or tire, or whatever. I mean, you can use a swimming pool if that's what you want to do. And then just cover them up with enough dirt, and when they sprout and get a couple inches high, cover them with some more dirt, but don't cover them all the way up. Leave about a 1/2 inch of green showing. But as I'm doing it throughout the year, I'll show you how we do it. And hopefully these will grow off well. There's no way of knowing. For the first year ever, I didn't have no luck with potatoes last year. The spring was so darn wet. For the first time ever in my life, my potatoes got black mold. And if you get that, that's deadly. It kills the potato plant. And I lost my whole potato crop. But back then we didn't have a virus. And in all truth, why some years I don't mess with potatoes, is a 5-pound bag, a 10-pound, or even a 50-pound bag of potatoes has always been relatively cheap. But who knows how this year's going to come out. Now, if these don't make, old Mr. Tom got potatoes. I got all kinds of sliced dehydrated potatoes. I probably got, Lord, 60 pounds of them. I've got potato flakes. I probably got 120 pounds of them. I got canned potatoes. And of course you saw I got a brand new bag of fresh potatoes. So it's not like I'm potato-less. But let me get this done and we'll go on to the next project, because I'm bound and determined not to make this an hour long, you know, just me running my mouth, and get it up for you tonight. You know, trying not to break my track record. I know yesterday I didn't get it up before went past midnight, but that wasn't my fault. It wasn't because I wasn't trying, as many of you know, because you were up at the same time. Well, that didn't take long. There we have it. Trench is all filled back in about halfway, just enough to cover up those taters that we set up on end. Anyway, like I say, normally I'd cut those potatoes up. I'd give them a little more time for those others to sprout. Then I'd cut them up in the halves or thirds. But I'm way behind the curve this year. Figure I'd get them in the ground, see what happens. Now the ones that have sprouted, I know they'll continue to grow. Maybe the ones that have yet to sprout will. They were newer potatoes. And this is about a half a roll of what they call butter gold, which is a creamy colored potato. That's the way I can explain it. And russets. And I truly like russets. You know, I have an amazing potato salad recipe that y'all should try. Everybody who has just raves about it. And I don't use those red potatoes. I'm sorry, ladies. I use russets. It just it's what they used back in the day. My mama, and my grandmother, and great-grandmother, all the ladies in our family. And I explain why in the video, so check it out if you get bored. But they're covered up. I still got about a half trench deep to go. I got plenty of dirt. Keep filling that trench in as they come up. And once the trench is full, I'll start hilling them up. And we'll see how much we get here in about 3 months. Plenty of growing time here in the deep south. Plenty. We won't see a first frost till, Lord, sometime late December. Sometimes it's early January. We got all kinds of time. It'll be okay. Now, since I am so late, I will have to water them more. There ain't no doubt about that. Unless this year the rains come more often than they have the last few years. Like I said, we've been everywhere from a severe to extreme drought for many years now. I'm hoping and praying this year's different, but we'll have to see. So we're gonna head on over and get the next project done real quick, so I can get this video to you. So come on over, let's take a walk. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to get some cucumbers planted. And it ain't rocket science either. We're going to plant them in this little raised bed here, right here, that I made out of a couple landscape timbers. I just set them on top of the ground, and it's only about 6 inches wide. And it was just an experiment just to give me a little more space to grow green beans. And that's what I had in it last year. They did okay, but not so great. This year I want to try cucumbers. And you can see I got soaker hose on it to keep it watered. But really, until it gets so darn dry, I don't turn them on. Until I just get so tired of hauling water. So let's get set up and get some cucumbers planted. This ain't hard. I'll show you the kind we're putting in here. This ain't gonna be my only cucumber plant, because I'm planting a new variety here. Never have planted before, and I'll explain in a minute. Okay, y'all, we're over here, back side of the house, the east side, where my trellis is at. It's got the netting up there, and of course, this lower section, the netting, it all decayed, but I'll put some more up just like this. I actually tie this myself with nylon twine. And it's just sort of the reason I do that, instead of putting up any plastic netting or stuff. I just enjoy coming out here, tying this all up, making it myself. It's darn relaxing, but that's me. So what are we going to be planting here? Now, like I said, this is just a little bit raised bed I threw together last year. But I got plenty of railroad ties, or not railroad ties, old landscape timbers. And these things are 20 years old, by the way. We took them from the north side timber fence when me and James took it down. Woo! At least, oh Lord, 8 years ago. And they're good enough for this, and I just wanted to make a little bed right here to grow some more green beans in. This year we're going to try some cucumbers, and we're going to try some very special cucumbers. And then I'll plant my standard variety over there on the north side of the house. But what we're going to be planting is right here. And these are from King Seed. Sorry, I already tore the top of the pack off. And you can see right there, these are a cucumber, Cassandra F1. Yes, they're a hybrid. And they're high yielding with crisp white flesh. And what makes these also so special? They have all female flowers. So every flower that comes on these will make a cucumber if it's pollinated. Now, your standard heirloom varieties and hybrids will have both female and male flowers. And a lot of people, when their cucumbers first start flowering, they get all excited, they're going to have all these cucumbers, and then they see the blossoms start falling off. Well, most of them, especially early on in the cucumber plant's development, are all male flowers. The cucumbers, like many vegetable plants, don't start setting female flowers till the plant feels that it can support fruit production. Just a pro tip there for you. So, like I said, what makes these so special? An all-female type, specially bred to produce an abundance of fruits for picking when about 8 inches long. High yielding with a crisp white flesh. King say low in calories, high in potassium, and the skin is rich in carotenoid antioxidant. And these are normally grown in a greenhouse or a glass house. But we're gonna grow them right here, because we ain't got no greenhouse or no glass house. We'll see how it goes. If it don't go well, we'll just stick something else here, okay? Now these are pricey. You get, just like what it says, you get 4 seeds to a packet. And it's $4.99 a packet. And this is a fairly new F1. I think that's its first commercial release year, if I remember correctly what F1 means. First year release. You can't save seeds from these. Well, you could. Lord knows what you're going to get. Be interesting though, and I may try. But I bought 3 packets to try. So I only got 12 seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6 on this side and 6 on this side. Now when I'm planting in a raised bed, I like moist soil. And if it's not moist, I'll water it before and go take a break. And like I've told you in past videos, raised beds here this far south, they dry out extremely fast. You know, I'm having to water my tire planters twice a day, and that'll probably go up 3 times a day as it gets hotter. Now, it's 85 here. 85 with 45% humidity, so I'll take it. Not bad. We got a little light breeze. So how are we going to plant these? Now, we got to be very careful. And I hate to do this one-handed, but we're going to give it a go, okay? And I'm just going to sprinkle out seeds right here. Yep, only 4. They didn't even give me an extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these bad boys and I'm just going to come out. I'm going to set one right there. And I'm going to try to put them equal distance. See how it comes out. Of course, looks like that hole right there would be about right. Put one right there. So that's 4. Let me get 2 more out of another packet. And that. Now I know some of you are saying, those are awful pricey, Mr. Tom. Well, I didn't buy them this year, trust me that. I bought them last year before all this craziness came to be. And I'm just going to sprinkle these 4 right out here. Yep, only 4 in that one too. You know, I was hoping maybe they'd give me an extra for $5. And then I'm going to put another one right there. And another one right there. That looks about even. Don't judge me. And we'll come back and stick them in the ground in a minute. So, we'll put this little bad boy about right there. And this one right here. Now I gotta get some more. You better not shortchange me, or they won't like my review. Of course, probably don't care. Nope, only 4 per little pouch. Well, at least I got what I paid for. We'll just take him and we'll put him right there. Okay, and we'll take him, put him right here. We'll just leave one right there. We'll get rid of that rock. And then we'll come, about to lose one. We'll come over here and place one right there. So there we got it. That's about as even as I'm gonna get them. I'm sure Magoo would approve. I ain't seen Magoo or Cleo or Elrod today. I'll talk about that before we call this one a wrap. And all I do when I'm planting in a raised bed, just a few seeds. See, I take this planter finger right here, your first index finger. And these only got to be a ½ inch deep. And I just take them and I just press them in, make a little indent, ½ inch, and I just cover it up right there. So easy. Cover it up. Pack it down because you want good soil contact. That's where people make a mistake. They either get them too deep, too shallow, where they're afraid if they press down on the soil, you know, it'll hurt the seeds. And yeah, there are some tender ones. And there we go. We got that one. We'll get this one popped on in there. There you go, baby. Go to sleep. And hopefully these will all come up for the... I'm gonna move him over a little bit. He was trying to get too comfy. That other one over there. There we go. Got it going on. And the whole trick, and that's not a seed, by the way, that's just, well, it was a seed, but not this type. And the whole trick to this is going to keep it nice and moist, just like we do our lettuce planting and our radish planting, until they pop their little heads up. Of course, then you got to keep them nice and moist too, keep them alive. And like I said, being this so late in the season, these should have all been in by, oh, no later, April 1st. Or sometimes, depending on how the year's looking, the spring, 3rd or 4th week of March. But definitely by April 1st. So I'm a whole month behind. But if they'll come up, the only difference is going to be we're going to have to keep watering them more often, because it's probably not going to be long. We're supposed to be in the 90s next week. 91, 92. It's just beginning of May. That's unbelievable, and that's not looking good for this year as far as heat and drought. But who knows? We'll pray about it. Maybe Father will give me a break this year. Well, not that I deserve one any more than anybody else. But just in case you missed it, these are from King Seed Company. Cucumber, Cassandra, F1. Now you can get them off Amazon. And if I can find a link, I'll throw it in the below in the video description of the video for you, just in case you're interested. And see how they come. But I mean, if they come up, you'll be seeing it right here with me. And I hope they do, because I'll still save some seeds. Because every once in a while, with hybrids, they will be true to type. See, that's something else I want to talk about here. And we're just going to sit down a minute. All right, we're going to kneel down. This old man's starting to get a little bit tired. Wasn't like I got a whole lot of sleep last night. But do you know that all your heirlooms were once upon a time hybrids? Yes, they were. Even Native American corn. Because if you trace the roots of corn back, corn is basically a grass. And if you look at what the original corn was, it don't resemble nothing like corn we call corn now, or maize, or any of it. Same way is true with all your favorite tomato varieties. Do some in-depth research and you'll find out. I ain't gonna lie to you. But a lot of people, they're all into the heirlooms. And there's nothing wrong with that. I plant a lot of heirlooms. Back when I was trying to make a living at it, I planted a whole lot of hybrids too. Why? They were more disease resistant, more productive. Not all hybrids are made to withstand shipping and be all flavorless and thick-skinned. Yes, the hybrid varieties for commercial growers are bred for enhanced shipping qualities. But the hybrids for gardening aren't. They're hybridized by cross-pollination, just like nature does, for flavor, for disease resistance and production, not shipping. Now some varieties are hybridized for longer storage characteristics, especially stuff like onions, potatoes, even tomatoes. But they try not to sacrifice flavor or productivity. And if they do, an honest seed company will tell you. So there we got it. We got potatoes in, got some cucumbers in. And that's enough for today. So y'all, there we have it. Now, it wasn't a productive day as much as I wanted it to be. I wanted to get potatoes in, get cucumbers in. I wanted to get my other cucumbers in. I wanted to plant me a row of summer squash because everything this year is so far behind. Because I messed around and kept my head buried in that virus way too long. But it wasn't wasted time as far as I'm concerned. It helped a lot of people prepare, so they've told me. And it helped me prepare. And I think I'm alive right now because I spent that time. And any day you get something accomplished is better than nothing accomplished in my thought. And it ain't like back when I was working 6-7 days a week, where I had to rush if I wanted to do anything here at the house. I mean, for several years, to be honest with you, or for about the last 6, just doing laundry, some cooking on Sundays, catch up on house chores, and stuff of that nature. I didn't do much else because I'd only get a Sunday off if I was lucky, maybe every so often. That's why when you wonder, if you go back and look at my very first video, why the place looked like such a mess. Not that it looks all that great now, but we're working on it. It was because of the work hours I was doing. Normal shift was 12 hours, but I had to come in an hour early. And at least had to finish up. It was always an hour later, so you're talking 14. Then you drive home, and the drive to, there's 15, 16. That leaves you 8 hours at the house. Then you got to fix something to eat. Wasn't a whole lot of time to be doing gardening, yard work, house repair, do all that. And it was just me. I mean, try as I might, Trixie's just lazy. I've tried to teach her how to vacuum, dust. Now, every once in a while she'll dust, or I guess that's what she calls it. She gets up on the bedroom dresser and table and scoots all over it and lays on it. Of course, she probably leaves more hair than she does. And she gets on the entertainment center sometimes. She's sort of pissed at me since flat screen TVs come out, because we used to have those big old deep CRT tube TVs, and she'd lay on top of those in the wintertime because it was warm. She can't lay on the flat screens. She's been real perturbed about that over the years. But anyway, talking about the kitty crew and why you won't see them today. They actually had owners, and I've known about this since the get-go. And if they see this video, they can be pissed, I don't care. And for whatever reason, they leave during the week. They'll leave Sunday afternoon or Monday morning. I guess they work out of town now. And they don't show back up till either Friday night or Saturday morning. And they got small children. Well, I mean, they're probably anywhere from maybe, now they might be 7, 8, up till 12 or so. And then all of a sudden, Magoo, Cleo, and Elrod disappear for a day or two. See, that's who owns them. Now, yep, was it pretty piss poor that they just leave them during the week? No, nobody to care for them? Yep. Now, a few weeks back, somebody put collars on them, and I figured they did that one weekend when they were home, because they were home one weekend here a few weeks back, and then it was that Monday here, they all show up, with collars, except Cleo. I think Cleo tries to avoid them and stays hidden when they're here. And they'll show up later tonight. I'll hear them out crunching their food. But that's just the way people are. That's bad. Do your animals like that. Abandon them. Just let them roam the neighborhood. Somebody will take care of them. Of course, I have a reputation for that here in my little small town, so they probably figured, oh, crazy cat man down the corner, he'll take good care of them while we're gone. And I don't mind. I love Magoo to death. He loves me. I figure they're in the house right now or they'd be up here. Same way with Elrod. Now, Elrod's skittish. Some person has done poor Elrod wrong, because it takes him 30 minutes to an hour to just get back to where, he'll cuddle with me and climb up my leg and want to be pet. I mean, the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, if I even sit up, try to walk or whatever, he'll take off back off 6-8 feet. So somebody's done that poor kitty wrong. Good thing I don't know who did. I'd have to say something. I try not to do anything else, but I'd have to say something. I don't like people who mistreat their animals. But we did, like I say, we got something accomplished today. And it's been a beautiful day. I mean, it's getting up there now, mid-80s. We got a light breeze. Sky is clear as a bell. Not a cloud to be seen. You can see it, and that's why I turned my chair so y'all can see the sky up behind me. But that's about it for today. We're going to call it a day, as it should be around 4:30. It might be 5 by now. And I've got to get this video edited and get it up to you. I just wanted to get something out today, show you something. Maybe you learned something, those of you who don't garden at all. And I know many of y'all garden way more than I garden right now. And like I always say, and I'll leave a link to it below in the video description. Go back and watch that video, past times, here at Deep South Bama. Back then, old Mr. Tom did some gardening here in this little small place. That's for sure. Anybody who doubts it, just go watch that. It's not all that long. I think it's only like 12, 13 minutes. And it's a slideshow video. Got some nice music. You'll see my kids, the garden plots, how we used to mulch them, how we kept them mulched during the growing season so we didn't have to fight the weeds. Of course, you'll see all that this year. And it might be just a little bitty space, but I'm just one little bitty old man. If I grow 20 tomato plants now, that's just way too many. I need to eat food down, not stockpile. Now next year may be a whole different situation. This year what I'm going to try to do, because I see the price going way up. I got some, but I'm going to try to get me some canning jars, some more, and some more lids. I think I only got two cases of empties, maybe 3. I got a couple of packs of lids. But I'm going to try to, put some of them up this year. So if things do go sideways, Mr. Tom be doing some canning. I got all the stuff. It's in the shop, stored. In fact, it's my daddy's stuff. That me, him, and Mama, it was Daddy's, because Daddy ran the canning processing at the home place. Not Mama. Daddy did canning. Mama, she did prep work. Tom did prep work. Other sisters and brothers did prep work. Daddy was in charge. It was Daddy's equipment, Daddy's stuff, and Daddy's way. So y'all, I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. I hope y'all out enjoying it, being safe now, wherever you are. Hope y'all are healthy, and everything is right in your life. And like always, keep Praying for those essential workers. Every last one of them. And that. And our community. Pray for all of us. And if you got a little extra time, I don't think God would mind. Pray for our country, our planet, and all of humanity. And until next I see you on the next video, y'all take care. Stay safe. And God bless each and every one of you, your families, your friends, and your loved ones. Goodbye for now. Well, we're going to take this old body in. Well, we're going to have to get a nice hot tub run. Well, as soon as I get that video edited, get it started uploading, I'll have plenty of time to soak in the tub. And I ain't handled the shovel very much in a year or two. I'm sure I'll have a little bit of soreness. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, and I gotta get some gloves, because FedEx brought me another box from Walmart. I ain't ordered nothing from Walmart, so we gotta get it in. Said it's from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And then I have another package over here, the U.S. Postal Service. It says it's from Kenmore, New York. I can't show you the boxes, folks. It's got people's address on it. That'd be an invasion of privacy. And yeah, my kid crew hasn't ate yet. They'll sneak over here late tonight if they can escape the house. Just so y'all know. You can see it down there where that van is. And then the next house down where the blue truck is. Well, where the van is, that's the folks. Right there. Just saying. But, well, let's take it in. See what old Trixie's up to. Sleeping, if I had to guess. Well, Miss Trix, you could have come out with me today. The kitty crew, they're down at their old house. You could have come out. You could have been with Papa. Yeah, and been enjoying the sunshine. Now, girl, I gave you canned food. You ain't hardly touched it. I shared some of my chicken stuff with you. You got meow mix. And you just eat a little bit of it. You know what? You're spoiled. We're going to have a serious talk later tonight. Don't turn your head. Don't look away. You're just as bad as a child. A spoiled child. Of course, it's my own fault. I did it, didn't I? Well, we're going to have a long talk later. After I get cleaned up, you hear me? Don't say no to me. No. We're going to talk. You can bet on it.